This is 7.2b of Algebra. So we're going to continue working with exponents, but now we're going to work with rational exponents. That means exponents that are fractions. And your book teaches it you one way, and I'm going to teach you an additional way as well. So first, let's look at this. We got 16 to the 1/4. Okay, so your book wants you to think, what number can I multiply by itself 4 times? So a number times a number times a number times a number. That will give me 16. So if you think, perhaps off to the side, that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives you 16. Okay, so then the answer to this would be 2. Okay, let's try another one with the way that the book does it. So we've got 27 to the 1/3. So what number can I multiply 3 times to get to be 27? Well, 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. So the answer to this would be 3. The other way you can think about it in this exponent is that the top number means the exponent and the bottom number means the root. So whenever there's a 1 on top, you can just kind of ignore the fact that there's, you only need to pay attention to the root part. So this means take the 4th root of 16, which you can do on your calculator. There should be a button that looks something like this. Okay, a button that looks like that. And that allows you to do whatever root you want. Most calculators, you'll need to hit like 4 first, then hit this button, and then hit 16. You'll have to check on your own calculator which way you need to hit the buttons. But you can do that, and it's just going to pop out the answer too. Okay, so this one, written as a root, is the 3rd root of 27, and that equals 3. So if we do it with this last one, this one happens to be the square root. You can write the 2 if you want, but the square root of 64 is 8. We can get a little bit more complicated with it, with having the top number not be a 1. So this is 25 to the 3/2. So again, this top number is your exponent. The bottom number is your root. So the book wants you to write it like this. Separate this, since there's a 3 on the top, separate it into 3 things. So this is 25 to the 1/2. Times 25 to the 1/2 times 25 to the 1/2. And if you think about adding exponents, which we just did in the last lesson, 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 3/2, right? So that makes sense. But the other way you can think about it, so if you thought about it this way, you'd say, okay, number that multiplies twice and turns into 25, well, that's 5. So 25 to the 1/2 equals 5. So then right here, I've got 5 times 5 times 5. So this is going to equal 125. If you want to think of it with roots, this is the square root of 25. And then you need to take that to the 3rd power. So the square root of 25, well, that's 5. So this is 5 to the 3rd, which is 125. Let's try another one. We've got 27 to the 2/3. So your book wants you to think of it as 27 to the 1/3 times 27 to the 1/3. Okay, and think of that in your head and then multiply them. The other way you could do it is you can take the 3rd root of 27 and then square that. So the 3rd root of 27, well, that's 3. So this is 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, you pick which way makes most sense to you. Later on in other math classes, you usually see it like this. But you can do it this way. It just takes a lot more thinking on your own versus thinking with a calculator. And the last one, 16 to the 3/4. So if I wanted to write it as the book does, that's 16 to the 1/4 times 16 to the 1/4 times 16 to the 1/4. Or if you write it with roots, this is the 4th root of 16 to the 3rd power. So the 4th root of 16, well, that's 2. And 2 cubed, that's 8. And then we'll try doing this with exponents. Sorry, with variables and exponents. So if we look at A, we've got 2c to the 3/5 times 2c to the 1/5. So again, we think back a couple of sections, or actually just a few sections. We multiply our coefficients up front. So 2 times 2, that's 4. And I'm going to have c to the something. I need to add my exponents to figure that out. So I've got 3/5 plus 1/5. Well, that's just 4/5. So this is 4c to the 4/5. Let's try b. We've got n to the 1/3 times n to the 4/3. So my answer is going to be n to the something, and I have to do 1/3 plus 4/3, which gives me 5/3. So this is n to the 5/3. Let's try one more that gets a little bit trickier. So for c, b to the 2/3 times c to the 2/5 times b to the 4/9 times c to the 9/10. So to figure out my b exponent, I need to add them, right? So I've got 2/3 plus 4/9. Well, these don't have common denominators, so I can't add them just like that. So I'm going to multiply this one by 3/3. So I get 6/9 plus 4/9, which gives me 10/9. So my exponent for my b is 10/9. And then we need to do the same sort of thing for c. We've got 2/5 plus 9/10. Can't add them because they don't have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2/2. So that I get 4/10 plus 9/10, which gives me 13/10. So the exponent on my c is 13/10. And that would be your final answer. There's your homework.